In this video, I'll walk you through the steps of hosting an interview recording session using Zencastr. The first thing you should do before starting a session is plug your headphones into your computer, and if you're using a microphone, now's the time to plug that in as well. It's also a good idea to close any other programs that may be running on your computer other than the web browser. Next, log into your Zencastr account, and you'll be taken to the dashboard, where you'll see any existing episodes, plus a Create New Episode button. Press that to set up a new project, enter a name, and click Create to start a new session. We're going to call this one Sample, but first I want to highlight this Wave Recording as Off section. Note that if you have a Zencastr Professional account, you have the option to enable high-quality wave recordings, while if you have a free account, your recordings will be saved as MP3 files. Now let's click Create and get started. On the next screen, your web browser will ask you to use your microphone. Click the Allow button to let Zencastr record your voice. Next, you'll see an Allow Audio Playback button. Click this so that you can hear the person or people that you'll be interviewing. Before starting a recording session, you should also probably click the gear icon in the upper right corner of the screen to view your audio settings options. From this screen, you can make sure that the correct microphone and headphones are chosen, among other things. It's probably better to leave most of the other settings at their defaults most of the time. But from here, I can make sure that it is in fact the microphone that I want it to be, and it's not a bad idea to tap the microphone to see if I can hear it in my headphones. Otherwise, it might be the built-in laptop mic instead of the one that's been plugged in. You can invite guests by clicking the Invite link, and then either enter their names and email addresses before clicking the Send button, or you can click this Copy Invite Link button, and then share the link with them by email, text message, or any other way. The free version of Zencastr lets you interview up to 2 people at once, while the professional version supports unlimited guests. Note that you can send your guests this link ahead of time. So if you have an interview coming up tomorrow or next week, you can just give them the link now and tell them to click on it at the appropriate time to enter the room. When the guest does click on the link, their name will show up in the room, and you should be able to hear them talking. I went ahead and muted both of these channels just because of the interference with the screen recording software, but normally you could mute or unmute your microphone or your guest's microphone using these buttons. You should ask your guest to click the same gear icon to make sure that their microphone and headphones are selected on their computer. They won't see as many options for audio settings as you do, but they should have the basic options. It's also a good idea to remind them not to close their browser tab or browser window, although if they do, they can re-enter the session using the same link as the first time. If you're having trouble hearing each other, you can use this text box below the recording window to type comments to each other and communicate that way until you work out any issues that you may be having. When you're ready to record, you can click the Start Recording button, and it will turn red and the numbers will start counting up. I'm going to exit the room from the other menu there and click Start Recording just so I don't have any feedback issues. But you can see that the numbers have started to count, and we can see a little waveform over here. At the end of the interview, you can click the button again to stop the recording. But don't close your browser window until you see this message saying that you're all done. Otherwise, the end of the interview may get cut off. Note that if you're recording with WAV audio files, it may take a little bit longer for the audio to upload to the cloud, so please ask your guests to be patient and wait until the audio upload is complete. After all the files have been uploaded, it's safe for your guests to close the browser window to exit the session, and you can click the download links to save the recording to your computer.